What's up YouTube? My name is Itza. Welcome inside Magic. Today I'm bringing you another video, and today we're focusing on card magic. For all the beginners out there, I am bringing you 5 things that every card magician should learn. So without anything further to do, let's dive right into it. So let's start with probably the most utilized move in card magic, really overused in my opinion, and that is the double lift. Now, there are a lot of different types of double lifts. My personal favorite would have to be this one. I will demonstrate it for you guys. I won't be teaching it. And this is what is known as a standard double lift. So, card in the middle, boom, jumps back to the top. That's just the thing. The double lift is such a versatile move, and it's so overused. By the way, I am trying to figure out a substitute for a double lift. So if any of you guys know, for a substitute, do let me know. But yes, as I was saying, the double lift is actually a really versatile move, and it should be practiced. Probably the move that needs to be practiced the most from every single move that I will be talking about today. So there are tons of tutorials out there. Learn it, practice it, perform it. That's it. Double lift. Before we carry on with number 2, guys, just let me tell you, make sure you stay until the end, because number 5 is actually my favorite. That's why I left it for last. And in my opinion, it has the most potential from all the moves that I'm going to be showing you too. But let's head on to number 2, and that is a card control. A card control that I would recommend for any beginner out there is probably the double undercut. Let's say random card gets selected. I will demonstrate it, of course. Random card gets selected, gets lost somewhere in the middle, and then you just take the cards, you cut once, cut twice. That's it, and you end up with the selected card on top. Now what's great about this is that the double undercut can also be used as a bottom control. The method is simply different. You should just go ahead, type double undercut in YouTube. There are plenty of tutorials, but as you see, after I've cut the cards twice, now the selected card ends up on the bottom of the deck. It's a very simple card control for beginner magicians, but it works perfectly fine. I don't use it. The control that I use, or at least used in the beginning a lot, constantly. I still use it up to this day, but not as often as I did before. I am guilty of it, and that is the pass. Ah yes, the notorious beast known as the pass. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but my advice to beginner magicians is learn the pass, practice it, but do not waste your time on it. Beginner magicians, I will do a separate video on the pass altogether, but for now I'm just gonna say that in the time that it will take you to do the pass right, at least decent, you will be able to learn so much more. So yeah, stay on the lookout for my pass video, but for now I'm just gonna say don't waste your time on it. There are plenty of other card controls that you can find in books, on YouTube. Learn one, a top card control, a bottom card control, and you're set. Especially if you who are watching are just starting out in card magic. As I said, double undercut, golden. Moving on to number 3. Wait, let me get that mugshot right. Yeah, there we go. Moving on to number 3. Actually, 3 and 4 I'm gonna do together. Those are the false cuts and the false shuffles. Going about false cuts and false shuffles, it's the name says it all. It's a cut that it's fake, it's a shuffle that it's fake. Now, rarely while you're performing will you need to retain the entire order of the deck. For that purpose, I use false cuts. I will do a simple one just to show you what it is like. 9 of diamonds on the bottom of the deck, 8 of hearts on the top of the deck. Give the deck a simple false cut. Oh, they can actually be fancy as well. So, you know, you're demonstrating a skill with a pack of cards. In that case, you have the 8 of hearts still on top and the 9 of diamonds still on bottom. That was a complete false cut. Now there are cuts in which cuts and shuffles in which you retain, for example, just the top card of the deck. Let's say you just need the top card to stay. You can simply do a shuffle like this, and the top card remains the same. And both of them are very useful to have because they are adding up to the illusion of, for example, you are finding the card in an impossible situation when the cards are actually mixed, when they, in fact they're not. But yeah, learn one false cut, one false shuffle, look them up. There are dozens on YouTube. Pick one, learn a fancy one as well. It helps. And last, number 5, but definitely not least, is my favorite, and that is the card force. Now, to just illustrate the force, I am going to perform a very, very simple card trick, just to show how powerful a card force can actually be. So, a spectator says stop somewhere. Could be here, could be here, could be here, it doesn't matter. Let's say the spectator says stop somewhere here. So they take this card, which they have called stop on. In this case, that is, yes, now you can see it good, that is the King of Clubs. Now, funny thing that it's the King of Clubs, because before the trick started, actually here in my pocket, I have from a different deck another card, and that's my prediction card, and that is the King of Clubs. Now, as you just saw from that little performance, being able to force a card is a game changer. Now, being able to, well, what a card force essentially is you are letting a person freely choose a card, while in fact you are giving them a card you know in advance. And that is so powerful because you can reveal the card in any way imaginable. You can do it from your pocket, as I just did. You can do it from their pocket if you got a bit more skill. You can reveal it from a friend's pocket if you have any friends. You can do it from a watermelon, obviously, if you have watermelons. Like, it's completely up to you. It's a game of imagination at this point. Because once you've given them the card, and once they are happy with it, and they're there, the card is theirs, you're just way ahead. And after that, it depends on how you play it out. So use your imagination. That's why the force is probably my favorite skill, so to call it, because honestly, if you just learn a card force, you will still be able to do powerful magic for lay people. Magicians performing for magicians, we prefer our technicalities, being able to do triple false shift or a pass that nobody can see. This is what magicians performing for magicians is. A magician performing for lay people, a force, and Instagram blows their minds. So think about that. Okay guys, now that I am back in my extremely comfortable armchair, let's talk about a bit of the hurdles that you can encounter with those moves. Starting off with the double lift, because it is the easiest to mess up. Now, cards will start splitting all over the place. There are situations, I've had situations, people actually reach out and grab a double lift from my hands, and obviously in their hands it splits, which ruins the trick. There's nothing wrong about that. As a beginner, you're learning, you're practicing. I've also had a situation, I was actually performing at a bar for a few, let's say, elated people. But yeah, the guy just took the double lift from my hand. It did not split. He just did like this. Gave it back. I went on with the trick. I was shocked, actually. One in a million things, one in a million chance, but this thing happened. That's one thing. With the card force, depending on the type of card force that you choose to do or perform, people are actually picky with that. For example, I do the riffle force all the time. But what I've had when I first started doing it was people saying, oh no, I didn't say stop there. Or no, a bit earlier. Why do I have to take this card? And I wouldn't call these people hecklers, but they're in their right. For example, you're doing a riffle force and you riffle down like 3/4 of the deck down, and they said stop in the beginning. Obviously, it's a discrepancy. One final mugshot so you can have a good look. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. It's out.